Hi, Upper Third. Your work this week is all about the next stage of the development of transport during the Industrial Revolution, which is a subject very close to Mrs. Williams' heart, which is about canals. You have just watched a video about canals and their development to give you a bit of an idea of what was going on. And this follows on from the work we did last week, looking at developments in road transport. So, what we want you to do today is read the worksheet underneath entitled Canal Mania. You might need to download it so that you can read it more clearly and see it more clearly. And you need to read this very, very carefully because the answers are there, but sometimes you do need to look closely to get them. And all we want you to do is in the work column on the right hand side, the blue work column, you can see question 1. And it's asking you in A to list all the reasons why roads weren't suitable still for some people. B, to make a list of reasons why canals were useful, so in other words, the advantages of canals. And C, finally, make a list which shows you some of the problems associated with canals. So in a way, what you're doing here is for 1A, you're listing the disadvantages with roads, even though they had been improved, as you found out last lesson, there are still problems with them. So 1A is all the disadvantages still with road transport during this period. 1B is looking at the advantages for canals. You know, why were they built? Why were they useful to these businessmen who wanted to get their products to from factories to towns and cities and shops and ports, so that they could be sent abroad. And C, 1C really is disadvantages of canals. The fact that there were still problems even at the end of this period with canals, which led many businessmen to look for a newer, better form of transport during this period, which you might realise is going to be the railways that we'll look at next week. So, we just want you to answer questions 1, A, B and C. There is no need for you to answer questions 2 and 3 here. But once you've finished that, what we do want you to do is have a go at the Kahoot, which we've done for you. But before you do, please remember that we can see your scores for this. And it will be worth you having a bit of a revision, 5 minutes or so, looking back at the work you did on roads last week, the answers that you put down in your exercise book, and thinking again about canals, the work you're doing this week, before you have a go at the Kahoot, because it's not as easy as perhaps you think it is going to be. So please spend some time revising before you try the Kahoot at the end of it. So that's your work for this week. You've watched the video, you've listened to the clip, you have read the sheet and answered questions 1, A, B and C in your exercise books, and then you've had a go at the Kahoot. The only other thing we want you to do this week is, can you send us, please, a photograph of your work that you've produced, your answers to questions 1, A, B and C, please. We'd like to see your work for 1, A, B and C, so please send us a photo of it. If you have any problems, just email, get in touch on Teams, and we'll help you out as best we can. Good luck.